Alright, hello everybody and welcome to the stream. Let me turn on my time here, my thing that displays the time. Not that it's really necessary, but just so you can see what's going on. So, if you are not sure what's going on, I see I see Nitra, I see Shrek Hero, I see Necromantic over in the chat. So hello. So if you're not totally familiar with what's going on, I mentioned in my Discord server and on the last stream that I wanted to have a little something new that I do on my streams. And I wanted to learn RPG Maker and make a game. So the first step of that is to start planning things out. And I figure that I could get input from you guys, and we could craft everything together. Oh, Necromantic, thank you for the subscription. 15
months is 3 months
17
more than 14 months, which is 1 less than 15 months.
I had to wait for that message to read all that. Okay, so it's 17 months. Thank you so much. That's like, we're almost at a year and a half now. Alright, so we might be being joined by Shrek Hero momentarily here. We have media request, I believe. Working? Do we? How'd this get moved? I was gonna move this over here. Yeah. Oh, I might have to, do I have to restart to get media request to work? I don't know. Well, in the meantime, I'm gonna play... Whoa! And the cheer of 100 bits.
Also have some bit zombie kappa.
Thank you. Alright, well in the meantime, I'm just gonna play this, my playlist of Pokemon music that I have. No, I want you to shuffle. I guess you're gonna play the first song anyway. Alright, yeah, that's usually my Pokemon battle music. I don't know why Media Request is not showing up when, oh, can I reload all overlays? Can that work? I don't know. Anyway, I was gonna have you guys able to request songs. Maybe you can still try it. It doesn't seem to be on right now, and I think I'd have to restart OBS to try to make it work. Anyway, we're gonna get started. So, as you see, I have little blank spots where we could start typing things, but one thing I wanted to do is I wanted to give myself a little food for thought. So I found this website called Plot Generator, where it's weird. I don't know. I just kind of Googled and looked up one of the first things I saw. It's kind of a Mad Libs thing. I'll let you see what it looks like over here in the window. And it's kind of Mad Lib stuff where you can fill in things here, you know, protagonist, character name, and then just like it says fill in adjectives, fill in a dwelling, and blah blah blah, all this stuff. So I did one already, but I did it all, literally all random. So the story it came up with is kind of incoherent, but I saved it for you guys just so you could see it. It might get the creative juices flowing. There were actually a couple of ideas that I thought were kind of cool in it. So I'm gonna go up here and read what it said. A lot of it doesn't make sense because of the random terms, but there are some cool ideas here, and I'll say them. I'll say what they are after I've read through it. So, the title that this thing came up with is Sally Barker the Ghost. Remember, everything in here pretty much randomly generated. In a pit there lived a peculiar, cold ghost named Sally Barker. Not a snowy, greasy, pretty pit filled with bees and a handsome smell, nor yet a snowy, pretty, windy pit with nothing in it to sit down on or to eat. It was a ghost pit, and that means warmth. I really don't know what that means. But, alright. One day, after a trip, but that's, I guess, where our protagonist lives. In a ghost pit. One day, after a troubling visit from the gnome Ocean Humble, Sally leaves her pit and sets out in search of 3 icy spells, a quest undertaken in the company of fairies, elves, and fat teens. I don't know why I didn't notice that the last time I read it. Oh man, this is unintentionally hilarious. In the search for the gnome-guarded spells, Sally Barker surprises even herself with her intelligence and skill as a author. Again, auto-generated. During her travels, Sally rescues a knife, an heirloom belonging to Ocean. Oh, Sally rescues a knife, an heirloom belonging to Ocean. But when Ocean refuses to try laughing, their friendship is over. However, Ocean is wounded at the Battle of Three Armies, and the two reconcile just before Sally engages in some serious laughing. Sally accepts one of the 3 icy spells and returns home to her pit, a very wealthy ghost. Alright, hold on, I'm gonna join this Calls to Wreck Your Heroes on here. So, this is random and, like, makes no sense, but...
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I don't know if you caught me reading the randomly generated story. That...
A few words of it, then I have to, like, mute it. After muting it, then I joined in.
Okay. Well, I mean, basically, it was a lot of random stuff in there. This website, like, you enter stuff randomly, like, Mad Lib style, and it came up with this story. That doesn't make a lot of sense, but a couple of things I kind of thought were cool. SL Dino, no, we're really just getting started with things. All I've done is I've read this randomly generated story. I went on this website, fantasy plot generator or whatever, and I just filled in everything with random things, and it kind of Mad Lib style filled out a story. I wasn't doing that to, like, actually have the story, but there were some ideas in here that I thought were interesting. I thought the idea of the main character being a ghost was interesting. I thought that the kind of MacGuffin of being 3 icy spells, although it's not very well defined, I thought that was kind of a cool idea, and how that, you know, they're guarded by different, you know, in this case they're guarded by gnomes, and so those 2 parts I think are kind of cool. So that might be something worth considering as the basis for the story. Necromantic says handsome smell is the best idea. Alright, so however, I don't really care for Sally Barker as the name of the protagonist. So any suggestion?
It's not even a good name. It's just Sally Barker.
No.
It's like, who names their kid Sally Barker? The Barkers, that's who.
But here's what I like. I like the goal being to obtain, I don't know if 3 is the item. I guess you could have 3 icy spells. So like, that those could be like the bosses or the boss areas or the things you have to obtain to get to whatever the final goal is. So
why stop at 3 when we can do 4?
I don't know. I also should keep in mind that I don't necessarily want to try making a ginormous game for starters, just in case. We'll keep it small. I don't know. I'm gonna just write obtain 3 icy spells. That's one part. And player character is a ghost named, insert name here, Nitra. You already said hi, but hi again. I mean, you're saying hi to SL Dino. I already said hi to you, but hi again. A ghost named blank. Necromantic says Petunia. I'll put that as an option. What happened? I pressed a button. Okay, there we go.
Oh, you pressed the button, that's what happened.
Zoldana.
Zoldana? Where'd you get that name from?
Zoldana, Casper. I'm just writing down name. Let's brainstorm here. Okay, so we can could go on forever. You can. All right, but in the meantime, let's come back to player character later. So this idea, Ghosty. This idea of the 3 icy spells, I kind of like that. So let's try to think what ideas for the world of the game and the story of the game could be, and then the main character being a ghost. Like those three things there. What could, is it 3 things? Those 2 things, I guess. The icy spells and the ghost character. What kind of world would we be living in the game? What kind of story would we have to cause our main character Ghost to have to obtain 3 icy spells?
Pokemon. No reason.
Gotta catch 'em all.
Or Yu-Gi-Oh. Just for no reason at all. Let's just put a ghost in there.
I assume you use the 3 icy spells to defeat the villain.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would either be like you need to obtain the 3 icy spells to have the power to defeat the villain, or like you need to obtain the 3 icy spells to make the world normal again in some way, and then the villain tries to stop you. So, let's see. Let's get a vague plot idea. You say the...
Well, okay, so for you to be a ghost, you would have to be already be dead, right?
Uh-huh.
Let's just say, like, something went down, like, a millennia ago, or a couple hundred years ago, however long you want it to be. Like, an event took place that changed the world for that time as it took for you to actually do something, right?
Uh-huh.
Like, that villain is dead by now, which is a good thing, but at the same time, with all that time has passed by, you would have to deal with everyone who followed in his or her footsteps or got corrupted due to this world being the way that it is. Which will probably try to stop you from changing the world for the better.
Yeah, so it'd be like something that, like, the events happened a long time ago and you're the ghost from back when that happened.
Yeah, like you finally awoke, or you have awakened somehow.
Almost like a Breath of the Wild thing, except you're dead instead of
kinda.
alive.
Like someone actually accidentally stumbled across you somehow, or whatever you were possessed or sealed into. You know, like a genie. Someone actually found your item, and you're like, "Oh, I've awoken." You know,
How'd this
like
get turned into
know.
Italian all of a sudden?
You could just go Scottish on it. You could just go Scottish.
It's a Scottish ghost.
It's the Scottish Pokemon trainer ghost. They made the Scottish look so annoying, oh my god. But they're so chill and cool. Whoever made that video made them seem so annoying.
Scottish ghost played by Mike Myers, obviously.
Who's Mike Myers?
The voice of Shrek.
Oh. Eh.
Alright, so the villain has cursed the world. They sealed the curse away in 3 icy spells and scattered them across the world. So that's a vague thing.
Ooh, how about to get the 3 icy spells, you need them to reclaim your body?
Oh.
Like 1 for the mind, 1 for the soul, and 3 for the body.
Another icy spell, freeze time. I'm not sure how... I also have to remember, I have very simple software here that I'm developing with, so... We'll write it down as ideas, but we have to try to keep in mind things that we can implement. Ice wall to traverse past an obstacle.
I don't know how I feel about freeze time. Like, is it going to be like a very short time frame on it? Because just freezing time would be too much of a good power, just like vanilla as it sounds.
Well, unless you had ones that had like... Well, I don't know. I'm not sure exactly how sophisticated you can get with the combat system, but if we did something that stunned the enemy or something like that.
Yeah, because I don't know how I feel about freezing time just being as vanilla as it looks right now. Like, if I was gonna put in a freeze time feature into the game, I would probably put like a small time frame on it, just so it doesn't seem broken in any way, but still have enough time for you to do stuff. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Alright, so we have their mind, heart, and body was sealed away with the 3 icy spells.
Yeah, sounds good.
You can make the spells mostly out of combat things. Freezing time can stop something in the world. Yeah. I was thinking of that. I'm just trying, I mean, thinking forward a little bit. I have to think how I would implement that. But, again, right now we're just kind of, brainstorming. So really just about anything goes. And then we'll work out what's doable and not. So now for the world, should the world be covered in ice? Or should there just be, like, where the villain is or villain was, just be the icy area? Or maybe just the areas affected by the curse are icy? Is the villain fire because they oppose you, or ice because they free?
I would probably do the areas affected by the curse are icy. I wouldn't do the whole world being covered in ice, because then it's like, how are people alive at the moment, you know?
Uh-huh.
Like, these areas could be like old ruins, because, you know, this happened a really, really long time ago. Old, sealed up ruins that have been untouched by man by millennia, or whatever.
Mm-hmm. I'm just literally picturing the underworld from Disney's Hercules. Yeah. Alright, so.
I mean, there may as well be an underworld, because you're a ghost. You could probably say that you could have the ability to go to the under or overworld if you really wanted to.
Whole water's icy at the beginning, but de-ices as time goes by. What might be an interesting way to do it, because otherwise, in order to get more variety in the terrain, maybe as you get closer to a spell, the area's more and more icy. So you could have a lot of the area covered in ice, but with some patches that are free because they're farther away. They're farthest away from the curses or the spells.
Yeah. But, like, you don't want to do the entire world covered in ice, because then it's like no one will be alive.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure about. I mean, you could have it cold, maybe.
Yeah, like, it being cold wouldn't really affect how people would survive, but like having having everything encased in ice, I don't know if people would survive that. Like, if there's nobody there, then what's stopping you from just winning the game like as is, just by being there?
I think for gameplay, each spell unlocks some part of the world you couldn't access before. Yeah, I mean, that would probably have to happen. And I mean, you could do that through some kind of interaction in the field. So, like, for instance, if you need an icy bridge, like, there's this one place maybe you can't cross until you have the bridge. And then if there is an ice barrier, maybe you have to get by some kind of, I don't know, some kind of turret or some other kind of thing that attacks you. And you have to be able to have the icy barrier. So, I mean, that could probably be doable.
I'm thinking about how you would get stuff done just being a ghostly body. Like,
well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, we could be loose with it, but you could just be a ghost that has, you know, the appearance of a physical form, and you could do, but I mean, if you're a ghost because of the curse, maybe you're still affected by, like, the laws of physics. But
so
then
we're basically going Mavis from Fairy Tale kind of ghost.
I wouldn't know.
Well, if you didn't know, Mavis from Fairy Tale is basically a ghost, but she has the physical appearance of an actual person to everyone in the guild.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, but, like, no one outside of the guild wouldn't even know that she's there. It's the issue.
Like Patrick Swayze in Ghost. Yeah, except you'd have to be able to be seen by people. I mean, depending on the way the world works, if everything's cursed, I mean, maybe people can see ghosts. I don't know.
What if the person that has stumbled across you throughout however way that this ghost has awoken, they have the ability to quote unquote borrow their body just to get stuff done, or this person's able to see them but wants to help them as well. I don't know which way to want to go about it. Ooh.
Well, I like how Nitra puts it. You're weaker than your full self, but not completely separate from the world. But then, like, I mean, it could be like a twofold thing. Like, you're weaker in physical ways, but you can use like some ghost abilities to learn magic. Or I mean, just because it's a fantasy world, so you can learn magic anyway.
I mean, the paranormal are basically destroying stuff without even touching them anyway, so you could just use magic.
Right. Because magic. Alright. So let's see, what are we lacking here? I mean, we're lacking a real description of the villain. We're lacking specifics of the story and then the specifics of the world. Do we need to be a ghost? Could we be a sorceress stripped of her powers? Yeah, I mean, we could. I mean, I was kind of thinking of the ghost being like a mage of some kind, but just calling them a ghost. Yeah, I mean, the idea
Also,
would be
like
the
a whole
same.
party too, or like is it just gonna be like one single person?
I don't know. In the randomly generated story, she had a party of fairies, elves, and fat teens.
Fat teens.
I don't know why it generated that.
Like, that's oddly specific.
I know.
Fat teens. That's pretty specific.
Maybe we could have a fairy party member, an elf party member, and then like
one fat teen.
It could be like a big like a bear, a teenage bear. There we go.
You mean from?
Or like some kind of big animal. But actually, that could be good. You could get one. So like how in Paper Mario, I mean, you get more than one, but like for each area that you're in, you get a certain party member that helps you with the challenges to free that star spirit or whatever. You could befriend one type of companion per area that helps you get this spell. Paper Mario assistant thing, yeah. And put party members. Large teenage animal. Each party member, the player in one of the areas containing a spell. Fairies, elves, and fat teens sounds like something from something at a Club Stefan from SNL would talk about. Sounds like the setup for a joke. But it would be cool to have like some kind of large animal like a bear or an ox or a bull or something that would be like a physically offensive and defensive character.
That can talk?
Yes. Because then like the fairy could do magic and stuff, or maybe be a cleric or something. The elf could, I don't know. I guess elves can be warriors and stuff. Ooh, an elephant, yeah. Let's see, elephant.
Well, I wouldn't know how I feel about an animal knowing, like, proper English for no reason. unless you have the means to talk to them.
I mean, there are fairies and elves, and I think animals can talk. There are magical curses, so I think animals talking isn't too, you know, far-fetched.
Yo, so far if I were to play this game, I'd be like, yo, what am I playing?
A really big magic porpoise. That way it can talk.
Porpoise. I like how you say that. Porpoise.
Porpoise. Isn't that how you say it?
It is, but it's like porpoise.
Porpoise. Okay. So let's see. What's the villain? What's the villain's motivation? What did this curse try to achieve?
You had the magic of light and he had the magic of dark, so he stripped you of your magic somehow with the black juju. You want to be the only sorcerer. Because you know the villain is always a guy for whatever reason.
And I think should probably be ice powers because... Or are we both ice powered? Or is it ice and fire? Yeah, I was thinking... Well, since the curse is ice, the villain is a penguin who wanted to stop global warming by freezing everything. What if he had an army of penguins?
When the main character is Mother Nature?
What if it was
like, no.
What if they had an army of penguins, water nymph afraid of being frozen? Of course, I'm trying to think, like, okay, so we could use these ice powers. So, I mean, I guess you could say we were an ice mage before we became a ghost. But then we froze the world, so it's our fault the world is cursed. But I guess we stopped it from being worse than whatever it was. Like, what if... I'm trying to think. Like, what if the villain also, like, became a ghost in this process? Like, the main character gave their life to stop the villain, but then the villain came back. The villain is your teacher who tried to show you their power but accidentally did it bad. Although I like... A water nymph villain sounds kind of cool. Let's see. Ideas. Water nymph, failed teacher. That would make sense for you to have the same power. Or a teacher who realized how powerful you were and became jealous. Can you have
we could also just go Avatar on this. Let's go full Fire Nation and Water Nation.
Can you have a water nymph that controls ice?
I mean, that can be one of the party members, to be honest, if you needed it for a puzzle.
But I was wondering, because I like the water nymph idea, but I also like the teacher idea.
And then we can it says just the actual party, and the teacher as the villain who got jealous of your outstanding abilities.
Well, it says water nymphs are attuned to water in its various forms, though ice nymphs are restricted to water in its solid. So that means while ocean and river nymphs are restricted to water in its liquid and gaseous form. So if you're just a generic water nymph, then you could be all of it? Maybe? Ooh, storm nymphs. I'm just looking up nymphs here. Water nymphs are attuned to water in its various forms, though ice nymphs are restricted to water in its solid form, while ocean and river nymphs are restricted to water in its liquid and gaseous form. Water nymphs spend most of the time within the water and are known for their rivalry with mermaids. Most nymphs dislike their watery sisters because of their flirtatious behavior and their habit of seducing males who happen to cross their path. They can easily be found lying on the banks of rivers or on rocky outcrops in the sea, enjoying the sun or simply combing their hair. Water nymphs are said to be the most beautiful of all nymphs and are excellent seers. Many water and ice nymphs can see the future from pools of water. Of course, I have to see... Or thought you would become evil, did this to stop you, same time caused a major disaster by stealing your magic. A water nymph teacher who's secretly a porpoise in disguise. A really big magic evil porpoise. Alright, hold on. I want to see... One thing I need to see, let me open up RPG Maker. Because I need to see what all the character... choices have. I mean, I guess I could find and import another sprite set, but I'm gonna open this placeholder project I had somewhere. I don't remember where it is. Hold on. Okay, we're here. I'm just gonna open this up so I can see.
So what's this Alliance Alive game that I was hearing about on YouTube lately?
I don't know. I have not heard of it.
Nintendo actually uploaded a new trailer for HD Remastered, so I assume it was a game before it got remastered. Because to be remastered and get HD edition, you'd have to exist prior to getting it.
Mm-hmm.
I also know what that is.
Let's see, we have a fairy character. We have... Also, what happened to my OBS? Oh, there it is. You may need to download some other sprites and stuff, if that's still a thing. I think they still have some. But I do have to check out. But I'm just trying to keep in mind what stuff we have. Ooh, there's elementals. These are kind of cool looking. Was this one ice or air? There was a fire. That one, second one was water. Third one was earth. Probably air then, although it does look like it could pass for ice. There was a prophecy that predicted an enormous ice mage before the accident. Your teacher thought it would be you, so they tried to stop you. But in trying to stop you, they got possessed and caused the curse. Could be one of those, like, the darkness inside was too much. And they became corrupted by their fear. Because also one thing we could do with the player character is I think you can add a tint over top of their sprite. So like while they're a ghost, they could have like a bluish or purplish tint over them. Alright, what was I looking for? There's a bunny girl, for what it's worth. Various monsters. Ooh, this thing. This thing looks evil. There's a dragon. There's a devil-looking person. There's a dragonfly thing. There's a vampire slash maybe ghost. There's a treasure chest, but it has teeth, so I guess it's evil. There's a blob. There's a scorpion. Mushroom man. This person, that's supposed to be a monster? I don't know. Oh, it's like overworld sprites. There's also angels. Well, that's pretty. Little angel. Bigger angel. And bigger angel. And there are devils also. Oh man. Oh man, these things are creepy. There's aquatic things. Ooh, it's like a sea serpent. Oh, whoops. I was trying to find an easier way to look at stuff, but... Okay, anyway. Let's get back to here for a second. Purpose are aquatic things. That is true. Alright, so let's see. The villain was originally the teacher of the player. Let's see. They heard a prophecy that foretold of a powerful ice mage dooming the world. As the player became more powerful, the teacher, not now Windows, feared that the player would become the mage of the prophecy. As their... No. The teacher became corrupted by their fear and tried to destroy the player. The ensuing battle caused caused both mages to become weakened and plunged the world into a cursed state. All right. There we go. Idea. Alright, so this is the... Of course, within... Alright, so now we can revise the story a little bit. Let's see. Over a century ago, an ice mage became corrupted by the fear that their pupil was becoming too strong and would doom the world. And nobody's sure who actually did it, so you're sometimes hailed as the hero who tried to stop the villain or as the villain who ruined everyone's lives. Yeah, that'd be a good one. Alright, and stronger would doom the world. Teacher and student engaged in a life or death battle. They were evenly matched, and their magic... Wait, and... Wait, let's see, and... And their dueling powers brought an icy curse upon the world. Their magic was sealed inside 3 icy spells and scattered across the land. Both mages were weakened and but they remained on in this world in ghostly forms. And then something happens that woke them up. Something happens to wake them up. Or just to wake up the main character. And then... Or the player, or maybe the player wakes up the teacher when they collect the 3 spells or something like that. The people of the world are conflicted because nobody knows whether it was the player or their teacher who was responsible for the curse. Therefore, some people hail the player as a hero, while others consider them a villain. Alright, we're making some progress here. What do you guys think of the final area being the school? Yeah, maybe. So what I was thinking was maybe... I'm not sure why this would be the case, but... So we'd have to figure out the backstory, but that the player character is the only one that wakes up at first. And they want to break the curse and restore their, you know, full power and full form. And the teacher isn't awake yet, but collecting the 3 spells causes the teacher to awaken, and then the teacher still has the grudge out against the player. So Dinosaur, are you going to begin using the SweetBananaGaming chat as chat for this? Yeah, you can if you want. That way you can discuss stuff, we can discuss stuff off stream. Nature says, how about... I just want to take a look at some of these. The player wakes first because they were just a bit farther from the curse when it struck. I don't know, although what we were saying so far, the curse happened when they were fighting. The teacher wakes up because... then wakes up because they were closer. Maybe. Man, these graphics, some of these graphics are so pretty. Although... do we have... oh, good. Wait, we have some icy stuff. Good, we have some icy stuff. Do we have icy stuff without houses, though? Yeah, I guess I could try to find more. Everybody else was awake the whole time because they ran from the duel. So what if the curse froze the world in time in terms of, like, nobody aged? I don't know which way to do it. Whether it should be a whole other generation, or whether nobody aged, and so it's the same group of people that have been living like this for 100 years. What else can be around here? Yeah, I'm gonna need to find if there are, let me pull this over here. If there are more, backgrounds. Maybe it's the same people close to the 3 spells, but new generations far away. Maybe. That would be an interesting way to do it. Are these new? Or different backgrounds? They're not the ones I need, though. I guess I can search for that later. Alright, let's see. What should we... One thing I think we should do maybe is, nail down more, like, the layout of the world, maybe.
Yeah!
Yeah.
I was doing something, my bad for going silent for a
No problem. Another idea for why the player woke up first, there were expeditions to explore where the duel happened and they simply got to you first. That's possible too. So here's, I think we have an idea of what we want to do. So the thing we could start doing in the game is to design the world, I think. I don't know, that's just an idea.
Oh, my neighbor's
SL Dino.
dogs are barking again.
Okay. So, want to get an idea of the world, like the types of areas in the world too. So we know the areas, we have to find some way to make the areas near the spells be icy. But other than that, like what kind of areas, what layout and geography do we want?
Well, you know every game has to have that generic forest area that everyone hates. Because they keep getting lost in. So you know we need one of those, if not a long one.
Alright, so actually let me under the world. So we should have a name for the world too. Alright, areas. We have the school. We have a forest. Probably a mountain, right?
Yeah, like maybe mountainy, foresty terrain.
There's also, yeah. Other options we have are like deserts or mines. Like, where is it?
We could do them both. Like, we have one part, and then to get to the other part of the world, you have to go through one or the other.
Where was it? There's like a mine town. And then where's desert? What does desert look like? Desert look kind of cool. Alright, so let's see. Desert, mine town. Those would probably be close together. They have a castle. They have castle backgrounds. They have castles, churches. They have like one that's like in the sky. Necromantic. Oh snap, I just had an idea. Your teacher foresees you and a disaster. The teacher fights you and a large area is destroyed. The teacher knows you are still alive, frozen somewhere, knows you will return one day, but has poisoned the minds of people to blame you. Hi, Mimi.
Hello, Mimi.
How about temperate coastal waters of the northern hemisphere, natural habitat of the porpoise? We'll just say a water / coastal area. That would be interesting with the teacher poisoning the minds of people. Then, like, as you go along freeing them, they start to like you. That could be, too. I'm trying to think why the villain would still be a villain if also frozen, not doing anything really in all this time. That's true. That is true. Oh, there's a fort
I mean,
area.
if they're still frozen, then they're not really a threat to society anymore.
Yeah, but I was just thinking in the meantime the world is still affected by the curse. But, yeah, it would probably be more compelling to have the villain around. Man, these backgrounds are beautiful. Game over. Also, if the catastrophe also happened, why would the villain still want to fight you? Well, that's why I was thinking the villain. If the catastrophe already happened, why would the villain still want to fight you? Well, that's why I was wondering if the villain was sealed away too. They wouldn't know the catastrophe happened. Then you wake them up and they still want to kill. I don't know. Or if it just becomes. Well, if like what you said before, if you were sealed away or whatever, and the villain went around bad-mouthing you or whatever, then you came back, the villain would be like, oh, you're gonna bring the disaster on again. I don't know. Yumi says, reminds me of One Piece when Madame Charlie foresees the destruction of Fishman Island because... And then they're treated as criminals when they haven't done anything yet. Yeah. Sounds like one of those. So would the villain, like... So would the villain, like, think, okay, I sealed them away, and then they're hailed as a hero, and so they become, like, the ruler of the land or whatever? Would that be a way to do it? The other thing could be you learn your teacher is evil, and you try to stop him or her. She freezes you, causes the disaster, and blames you. That's a good idea, too. It would be a little less cliche than doing the prophecy thing, too. That one seems a little more done. Villain is planning to use your powers and you learn that and have to stop her. Well, let's see. One way or another, this part is still accurate. Over a century ago, a teacher and student were engaged in a life-or-death battle. They were evenly matched. Blah, blah, blah. That's why your powers are stolen, and you have to get them back. That's true. Alright, let's... They were nearly evenly matched, and the dealing powers brought an icy curse upon the world. Seems like the crimes of a really big magic evil porpoise. I'm gonna need to find sprite art of a porpoise now. What a horrible porpoise of death. Alright, so let's see. Drilling powers brought the as in finally what's the porpoise's purpose? The porpoise's purpose is to be a purpose. I don't know. The teacher sealed away the student's magic inside 3 icy spells and scattered them across the land. Although weakened, the student remained in this world in a ghostly form. Something happens to wake up the player, because purposes are ignored. To incite evil and destruction, obviously. Okay, let's see. While they were sealed away. Wait, say, in this world in ghostly form. Okay. Da, 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 da. While they were sealed away, the teacher rose to power in the world and blamed the icy curse on the player. Thus, when the player awakens, most of the inhabitants of the world consider them a villain. Also, is SL Dino a porpoise? I mean, SL Dino does seem to know a lot about what motivates a porpoise.
A porpoise is a porpoise. Like, what part of that don't you understand? A porpoise is just a porpoise.
The player must help the inhabitants of the world and obtain the icy spells in order to gain the trust of the inhabitants and be seen as a hero. Okay, can we talk about how mean dolphins are to porpoises? Porpoises are disenfranchised. Yeah, the main character is a porpoise. May or may not also be a porpoise. There you go. Alright, so this one... One day, as the player is nearing the completion of their training, they discover that their teacher was... Let's see. Discover that their teacher was... So this is an RPG about marine friends. The fat teen could be a manatee. You're not wrong. I do have to work with, you know, the assets that are either available to me or that I can find online, so...
The house is meant to gonna be, like, around...
That might limit...
ground.
Guess he flies. That might limit how wild we can go with creativity, unfortunately.
I mean, it is a flying type. You're wrong on that. You are not wrong on that at all. It is definitely a flying type in Pokemon.
Yeah.
It can definitely fly.
There's lots of free sprite makers for XP as well. Yeah, I'll have to take a look, but I'll take these ideas and refine them at some point. I still want to plan out the land a little bit. I might have to just draw by hand just to get a mock-up. Alright, they discover that their teacher was... secretly evil and planning to use their powers for their own purposes. For their own purposes. The player confronts the teacher. The ensuing battle causes the player's magic to be sealed away in 3 icy spells, and the player remains in this world only as a ghostly form. The teacher blames the curse on the player and is hailed as a hero by the inhabitants. Over time, the teacher comes to rule the world.
This is turning out to be a very intense drama.
I know. And becomes more powerful. Necromantic says, one day I would like to make the RPG I wanted to in Unity. Nitra says, too many pronouns. Also, we can start to get more specific with these pronouns once we've given these people names. Which we should do. Okay, so while I'm going to start to draw just a little mock-up of what the world could be. In the meantime, let's try to come up with a name for the player character, a name for the villain, and then a name for these party members here.
We don't even know if the male character and villains will be like male or female yet.
Yeah, I don't know. In the original, in that random thing that was generated, well, it didn't have a villain, but the protagonist was a female. I mean, if I wanted to make it full scale, I would let you choose, probably, for the main character, but for simplicity's sake, we should probably just pick one. Alright, so let's see. The school. And actually, the school would become the castle. Porpy, the really big magic evil porpoise.
I will talk to this bright white screen. It's starting to give me a little headache.
What, on here?
Yeah.
Alright, let's put something else up. Like this. Or... wait. Should have like dark mode for Microsoft Word. Here, I'll make this small. There we go. That'll do for the moment. Soldano can't be a porpoise. He's trying to make the villain a porpoise. He's a dolphin. To give porpoise a chance for their revenge, obviously. Mimi's lost at this point. Yeah, we all kind of are. We're just being spontaneous. Let's just pretend everyone is humanish for now. We can respecies later. Yeah. Villain is Arventi. Saldana says everyone and everything is a porpoise. How about they're all porpoises, but they're all just dressed like human-ish beings. There you go. Player is Itnerva. Irwin. This Welsh name is made up of Ira, Snow, and Gwen, White, and Blessed. That's pretty cool. For the villain or for the player? What's Welsh for cursed?
I need some kind of caffeine. Oh my god. BRB.
Okie dokie. Flip a coin, that one can be Irwin. So Welsh for cursed is Meltithio. How does this sound?
Meltithio.
Well, that sounds interesting.
Meltithio.
Meltithio. Interesting. What kind of people exist in this world? That's a good question. How about Lamhid is Welsh for porpoise? Hold on, I have to hear how that's pronounced.
Lamhiddion.
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 Lamhiddion. If fire magic exists, why don't they melt the ice? That's not how curses work. At least it doesn't have to be. What gender are we looking for? I don't know. I was thinking the protagonist maybe female, and then the villain could be either, I guess. They unfortunately haven't discovered fire yet. What if this world is just one of many and fire magicians can't be born here, so they just don't care enough? Gender neutral would probably be preferred. Yeah, I mean... let's see. I mean, for the villain, really could be either. For the character, like... I'm just thinking for the character sprites, I guess there are some fairly ambiguous characters. Ambiguous is relatable, right? Like, some of these mage sprites are, as an example. Ooh, it is an old guy mage. Amy says, I think female's a good choice for an RPG, protects and it's not very frequent. Necromantic says, Malvina for teacher, Irwin for player. Let's see, where is the villain? Female porpoises aren't very frequently RPG protagonists. Malvina means smooth brow. I don't know how that fits, but it does. Well, I mean, they could be a smooth talker to become in charge.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry.
Welcome back. What if it was Malvidion? So we could get the little part of porpoise in there.
The porpoise.
Reminds me of Malva, the Malvaceae, the Mallow family. All these names that were used for Pokemon names. Malvidion. I don't know, that's another idea. Alright, what am I looking at? I'm still trying to do my little map mock-up. The only thing is from, at first, you know, my first pass through, it's looking a bit linear. Although, again, fairly linear is probably not the worst idea for a starting plan. It also could be because the piece of paper I drew on is very skinny, so it's hard to do an expansive... Yeah, Pokemon likes plant names. Yeah, I noticed. Like, a lot of things are named after plants or flowers. A lot of people are.
Mood.
Mood is plant flowers. Oh, bye, Necromantic. Thanks for the help. That's alright. You could always, like, put them in the chat or DM them to me, too.
You know what? In Sword and Shield, I'm going to name half of my Pokemon plant.
Just plant?
Yeah. Just plant. Cause if Pokemon likes plant names, I like plant names. You know how I don't know any plant names?
Mm-hmm.
Straight up, plant.
Plant. Okay, but so the general layout, you probably can't really see it. I mean, it's a little vertical oriented, but I have a plains area at the bottom leading into a forest area, and then the forest and desert are separated by mountains because that kind of stuff sort of can happen in real life. And then the desert and mine town are connected, and then if you go to the coast, you get the coastal area there. So that kind of covers like the lower half of the world. Then above, I wasn't sure what to do. I had the school/castle up in the like the northeastern area and surrounded by like mountains, and I was thinking of having, cause looking at some of the backgrounds, they had some kind of temple in the sky maybe. And then there's this one area that I kind of shaded off to the west that I thought could be something different. I don't know, a sacred or a haunted or a cursed, some other kind of mystical area. SL Porpoise 14. SL Porpoise 13. Mimi, so you actually did that?
What do you do?
He changed his nickname in Discord to SL Porpoise.
SL Porpoise. Oh my god. You and Porpoise. It's a pretty interesting word. Porpoise.
Porpoise. Porpoise. So then I guess, would this have happened a century ago? Maybe not. I'll keep it vague. Many years. Unless the teacher gave himself immortality or something. Post a copy of the document to the chat when we're done. Yeah. Oh yeah, what how about some names for the party members? Because remember we have a fairy, an elf, and a large teenage animal. Oh yeah, the profile picture too. Several porpoise generations ago. What's the average lifespan for a porpoise?
Very long. I don't know.
Party members are named AJ, Siraki, and Fwad. Maybe just like Metopia.
And Doff. Doff.
Ja, Ika, and Doff. Hey, you know what? Maybe. What name goes with what, though? Doff, definitely. What do you think of Doff for the animal? I don't know what animal it is, but what would you think of Doff?
Doff the squirrel.
That's not a fat teen.
It's a little teen.
A Dolphin. Hey, Chronopod. So if the fairy is Ja, the elf is Ika, and the animal is named Doff. Dolphin. I know, right? And it's now Metopia. I don't know, just ideas. Well, we didn't make the villain. We didn't make Nitra into the villain, though, stealing people's faces. And then becoming... Morgan Freeman becoming the new villain. The villain is now Artine. Nitra backwards. I'm putting that as an option. Or Morgan Freeman backwards. Wait, if I write that... What would that be backwards? It would be... Namirf... Namirf Nagrom. That, oh no, that could be the name we could have. Because I was thinking of having like a wise sage or something in there. That could be his name, Namirf Nagrom. You can spell Artine out of Arventi. There you go. I'm just keeping that name for reference if I want to use it later. Okay, so for the player character, do we like Irwin as a name? Any other suggestions? It's spelled E-I-R-W-E-N, and it has some kind of Welsh meaning, I guess, for if you combine, was it ice and blessed, or snow and blessed?
Wait, so is our character male or female?
Tews. How about SEO prop? Porpoise backwards. I mean, it sounds like we're either going for female or ambiguous. Although, it would make dialogue less clunky if we could just say she.
We could have just given the main character one of those, just one of those names that could work for either sex, like Morgan, or, what you call it? What's her name?
I think you gotta.
I don't even know.
Mimi,
Like,
Mimi said, I think you gotta go all in with the reference names, or all in with the cool names with meanings. Ananab.
True.
It might be a bit weird if it's a mix. Yeah, that's true. You're not wrong. Gnimag. We could do Tews. The problem with Ananab is that Nanab is a berry in Pokemon. So it's hard to have that, thing.
Irwin? Pretty cool name.
Yeah, I like Irwin too. I'm not a Gnelf. I'm not a Gnoblin. I'm a Gnimag. Like a mage. I get it. I don't know. I'll put these ideas down for now, I guess. You could consider them. Because I think what I would start to do is work on maybe deciding on the map. Because I could always design the world and fill it with the characters afterwards. I mean, we have a basic idea of the world. Let's see. I'm wondering if I should try to even start on this or not. Whoa, it appears up there.
Also, Banana.
What?
They just released a new mini box in Duel Links.
Ooh.
So that's something interesting for you to look forward to. Granted, the mini box today sucks, so you don't have to worry about wasting the free 500 gems. But it has some interesting cards, just not a lot of them.
Yeah, waiting for the next big game-breaking thing to happen.
Yeah, it probably won't happen to the next box. But they did fix the game recently by destroying a certain deck type that was running around.
Which one
and being
was
really
it?
annoying? Kawakimaru. They gutted that deck. They gutted it so hard. They semi-limited and they semi-limited two of the most important cards to the deck, which was Maximus and the Core. So that deck is no longer usable. People are still gonna be trying to make it viable though, but it's gonna suck.
Alright, hold on. I'm gonna pull this over here just for now. Don't need everybody to see the layout of my computer, the file structure of my computer.
The amazing Lytton.
Well, no, you can see that. I just didn't want you guys to see all the files on my computer, all the folders.
To be honest, I still have to like clean my computer up. I made a file just to dump all my files on my computer into.
Mm-hmm.
Just so I know where everything is, and I have to like try to play Where's Waldo on my PC. You know?
Yeah.
That's what I did. If you need what I would normally do.
Not responding, yay. Okay, there it is. Alright, now the question is...
So instead of playing Where's Waldo, I can just type in the name of the folder. I got it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Alright, hold on, let me pull this back here, because now I have to... There was some bonus content that now I have to import again. So, there's a secret folder with all the secret fruit terms I've taught you. What more do we need for tonight? I'm not sure, unless you just have some suggestions some more suggestions as far as, the layout of the world goes, or different areas to have.
I mean, we can still continue this whole thing as we go on to the next couple of streams if we want to continue it.
Well, yeah, I mean, we
as
could...
we go on, the idea continues to evolve even further.
Yeah, I mean, what I was thinking, because I wanted to kind of start trying, just seeing if I could lay out a map, and I could even do it in RPG Maker, but I'm thinking, that maybe, I don't want to get started on it now, and then it's going to be really late, because I won't want to put it down, so we could probably call it around, now or so, and, then come back, let's see, Thursday or Friday, maybe, and keep going. I mean, we can keep discussion going in the chat, but I think maybe, stream again Thursday or Friday and try to get that. Let's see, where was I doing? I want to import this. And then... What was the other thing? What else do I have? Windows skins. Dino, I'm taking some notes, and I've been saying porpoise so much tonight I accidentally typed porpoise instead of purpose.
That's an actual mood, too. Like, you know how you just start talking about something for so long, and you're talking about it when you don't even to?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, I hate it when that happens. I feel so embarrassed.
Yep. Okay, so what was the villain trying to do with your power? I don't have that very well defined yet, other than just, use it to increase his own power. Although I guess eventually he kind of takes over the world, so... But that's a bit cliched.
Perhaps.
Okay, so what I'll do, though, is I'll make this into a PDF. I'll go over here and turn it into a PDF. And then, I think, can you save document? Can you send documents on Discord? Either that or I'll put, like, a link to it somehow. Alright.
You can send documents, yeah.
Let's see, where's export? Over here, and I'll put the date so that we know which version it is. Alright, there. Working on it. Oh, whoops, I forgot to get rid of that random story, or it's... Well, maybe I'll keep it up. Just know that this is the sample story. The first page doesn't count. Although maybe I could live in it. Maybe... Well, actually, living in a pit, that could be where I'm resurrected. The player character. I don't know. Okay. Well, I'll leave it there.
Living in a pit? What?
No, because, well, the randomly generated story said that the main character was a ghost living in a ghost pit. And I thought, well, hey, maybe if the character was sealed away or asleep or whatever, they were sealed away inside of a pit.
Yeah.
Alright, so let me see.
But how'd you awaken, though?
Those are the details we need to figure out. Trying to take over the tri-state area, trying to make a porpoise factory. Did this succeed? Do you battle the porpoise army to shut down the factory? I don't know. Alright, so... Why is this named like it is? It's just named game. I didn't name it that, but oh well. Hold that thought. Nitra! Thank you for the cheer. Name it Emag. Yeah, I don't know. I told it to name it the thing, but it didn't. Alright, well, let me put this into here.
Emag. You're right, Mimi. Mimi's on fire today. She's on that hot fire today. Yeah. That's all the names in this.
Okay, so I
You know
have...
what? If you haven't named the world yet, just name it
Emag. Oh man, I should
Yeah.
put that in there.
May as well, right?
I'll just put that in my own version. Okay. Anyway, so you're not going to see the Emag part yet, because I just posted the other one, but that'll be in there for next time, unless we change it. So there you go. I guess that'll do it for tonight. And so yeah, either Thursday or Friday, depending on what I'm able to do, we can pick this up and resume a little bit. Mimi says, please don't name it Emag. Well, I didn't name the file Emag, so that was specifically what we were talking about, I think. Okay, so I have this idea layout for the world, so what we'll do, we can still discuss in the Ultra Banana game chat. And then beyond that, in the next stream, I will probably try to start to lay out the world. I don't know if that's getting ahead of myself putting it in the game, but maybe I could draw this up or take a photo of it. I don't know, it's very messy, but just to get an idea of it, and then we could talk about it.
Yeah, I would like to talk about it.
Alright.
Something really cool to talk about. Pretty interesting in conversation.
Alright, so that's gonna do it for tonight. Mimi said, I feel like it was so good and serious and my joke names derailed it. But you were not the one who started the talk about porpoises, so...
Yeah, like as soon as Nacho came here tonight, we all knew it was going to be ending smart. we were just going to end it off in memes and everything.
I mean, I think we've struck a pretty good balance. there. Chronopod, well, there was this chat where people were discussing making a fan game, and so it's not public for the whole Discord. Yeah, it didn't really happen, but we're just kind of in that chat right now. Let's see, I think I have to make people ultra bananas to do it. So, let me just make sure. Wait. Create instant invite. Edit channel. Permissions. Yeah, you have to be Ultra Banana Squad. So yeah, I can add anybody who's not Ultra Banana Squad that's interested. You can go and tell me, and I can add you. Let me think. Oh, I'm typing in the wrong place. That's not good. Alright, so Chronopod, I've added you. So you should now be able to access it. It's somewhere at the bottom. Alright, anything else that we need to cover today? Tonight, before we finish off?
I'm good.
Alrighty. I think we're all good here, right? So, yeah, to summarize again, the documents in the Ultra Banana game chat. If you need Ultra Banana status to view it, you can ask me, DM me, or whatever, and I will give you the role. And then Thursday or Friday, we'll come back on with some of the discussions we've had, and we can keep discussing some of the details, and I'll try to start to create the environment in RPG Maker. I think that's the base plan for now. Alright? So, thank you guys so much. This has been fun. I think this will be cool. I hope we can get something completed. That's why I want to try, especially since this is my first time using RPG Maker, I want to try to keep the scope of the game relatively limited. We don't want it to be this big, like, Final Fantasy sized thing that will never get done. So, we'll keep that in mind. But yeah, thanks you guys, and I will see you next time. Good night.
Good night.